You know how you have those movies that are awful, but you actually enjoy watching them? Like Batman and Robin? Like they're terrible in a great way, in a pleasurable way. This was not that. This was terrible in an unpleasurable way. I don't regret watching Batman and Robin, but I regret watching this. See what I mean? By the way, spoiler alert, there are spoilers ahead. If you don't mind watching them, continue the video. Anywho, it was just awful. If I'm not mistaken, the majority of the movie is spent with Arthur Fleck inside the Arkham Hospital, where he is essentially held captive until he's put on trial multiple times. And in those multiple times, they failed to go through with the trial because some mishap happened, whether there was an outburst with Arthur or the freaking place blew up. And that leads me to one of the reasons why it was bad, because it just made no sense. These people were rescuing him, and one of them was dressed just like Joker, but it wasn't Arthur. I thought it was Harley. It was not Harley. As a matter of fact, Harley Quinn apparently never even existed in the real world. It was all made up. And Arthur trying to denounce his identity as Joker was also real because he didn't want to continue on as Joker, so that didn't really exist either. So what we saw in the movie was mostly just illusions. Now it's cool if it happens a little bit every now and then, like in the first movie, there were flashbacks or just fantasies of Joker, but in this case, that was pretty much the whole movie. It made no sense. The plot was just everywhere, and when you thought it was going to get good, they start singing. There was way too much singing. That's the part that actually gets me. A lot of people were actually saying it's like a musical, there's way too much singing. I'm like, I don't understand. Maybe that's your perspective. No, I fully get it now. It was too much. It was really taking away the seriousness of what the movie is supposed to be, I guess. I don't know what tone the movie was going for, because every time it gets serious, they kill that with some singing sequence of some sort, especially Harley. It is...
Oh my God, bro.
Now, if you do it every now and then, like 2 or 3 times, cool. It's just like an add-on. No, it was the main part, or at least one of the main parts we've seen in the movie. It just didn't make any sense. Overall, it didn't make any sense. I keep saying that because it's the truth. It was trash because the plot just didn't make sense, and what they did not make sense. This movie was so bad, I had to research it and wonder why it even went down this path and what folie à deux even means. And apparently, folie à deux is French. It's a phrase that means madness of two. It is a psychiatric term that describes a rare mental disorder where 2 people share similar or identical delusional ideas. And that's where it all made sense, in a terrible way. Oh, and get this. Folie à deux is also the name of a song by Lady Gaga, who was Harley Quinn. This actually makes a lot of sense, in a horrible way. They were actually foreshadowing the events of the movie right in our face. It's just we didn't know what it meant. And all it took was just 3 seconds of research to figure that out. It was delusion. However, that does not change the fact that this movie was trash. That does not mean the plot is supposed to make no sense at all. It didn't make any sense. Overall, Harley's motivation was to keep Arthur in this delusion that he's still Joker, and so they shared this delusion together, and that's what we see throughout the movie in these sequences where they're singing and doing this crazy abstract stuff with audiences. And as soon as he started denouncing his identity, she wanted nothing to do with him. At the end of the movie, she apparently is pregnant with his child because they did the do. And so you think we're going to have this idea that they're going to run off together and have this happily ever after ending? It was not that at all. They met up at the original staircase in the first movie, and then pretty much the scene cuts to him being back in the Arkham Hospital, and he meets up with this guy who we don't even know the name of, and he tells him this joke, and it leads to Arthur getting stabbed multiple times in the abdominal area, and he bleeds out and dies.
What?
Todd Phillips, why did you do that? Who actually allowed you to put this out? Why would you put this out? You pretty much left no room for a sequel, and even if we had the green light for a sequel, we don't want it. I'm pretty sure y'all don't want it. I know I don't want it. I at least don't want it from you, Todd Phillips. I want it from another director. I need someone to pick it up and make it right, because you made it right and then you made it wrong. Dead wrong. I don't know what made you think the general audience would like that and it would receive a warm welcome. You need to get back to the drawing board and figure out why you did what you did, and don't ever do it again. To further put it into perspective, this movie made Madam Web look like a masterpiece. Now, in light of finding something good about the movie, I will say the costumes were on point. I liked Harley's makeup, I liked the red, black, and white that she eventually wore, and it progressively got better towards the end of the movie, but that was about it. And then she just dips off and we never see her again for some reason. And okay, the singing was good. Lady Gaga is the artist, we already knew this, so I expected nothing less. Whatever was good, it was completely overshadowed. Another thing that also gets me is she was trying to say that her dad was a doctor when it was actually her that was a doctor, and her actual name is Harleen Quinzel from the comics, not Lee as she wanted to go by. I just don't understand why you felt the need to make all these unnecessary changes in the background of the origin story and whatnot. That did nothing for the story. It was just annoying. And then apparently you were saying that you were on the broadcasting of the Murray Franklin show when Joker shot him on live TV in the first movie. That just sounds like an excuse to put Harley Quinn in a movie. Overall, if I could give this a 0 out of 10, I would. I'll give it a 1 out of 10, simply because we were able to see a sequel to one of the greatest movies of 2019. Yeah, I know this is a late review. I recently watched it though with my girlfriend sometime last week. She fell asleep halfway through it and I was annoyed for most of it. She got visibly frustrated and I just kept sucking my teeth. It was a horrible experience. Okay, that's it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Leave a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I got more content for y'all coming soon. Stay positive. Till next time.